Good morning, Iditarod. Overnight we had some teams in Tanana, which is the first stop on the Yukon River, and Nicolas Petit won the award for first to the Yukon and had a gourmet meal with a village elder. Uh, his choice was village elder, so quite nice of him. Um, Tanana is the first place that mushers can take take their 8 hour mandatory. You have to declare it when you stop. You can't stick around for 8 hours and then go, "Hey, that was my 8 hour mandatory." No, you have to declare it when you stop that you're planning to take your 8 hour. If you want to leave early, you may do so. So it's always, smarter, wiser to go ahead and declare if you think there's any chance that you're going to stick around for it. So we have had a few teams, a few of the top mushers, perennial top mushers, who have taken their 8 hour mandatory in Tanana, including Martin Boozer, Jeff King, Jason Mackey, Ray Reddington. So those are names that are very, very familiar to mushing fans. Of course, Dallas Seavey, Mitch Seavey, Allie Zirkle, they haven't taken theirs yet. They are out through Tanana, and actually Boozer King and Mackey Reddington are also out. That's how we know that they completed their 8 hour. But Dallas Seavey is ahead of the pack again. He's very close on his heels are Wade Mars and Peter Kaiser. Let's talk a little bit about Peter Kaiser. He is an Alaska native. Been there, born and raised in Alaska. He's been running the Iditarod. This is his 8th in a row. Other than his first year, he has always had a top 20 finish. A few of them are in the top 10. And you will see him in some reports referred to as three-peat because he has won the Kuskokwim 300 3 years in a row. I know I butchered that, and I'm very, very sorry to the residents of that town. Anyway, so he's looking pretty good for this year. So he may well be a threat too. We've got a rookie who has separated himself, Sebastien Vernon. He's French. He's an Iditarod rookie, but he's been mushing for 22 years, and he has competed in the Finnmark Sloppet. I probably butchered that name too, so my apologies to all of Norway. That is the longest European sled dog race. It's 1,000 kilometers, so it's a little over 620 miles. It is also the northernmost sled dog race in the world. People do something called the double distance from time to time, and actually you've got a lot of people who do it quite frequently. The double distance is running the Yukon Quest and then a month later running the Iditarod. They're both 1,000-mile races. So Hugh Neff, Alan Moore, they're perennials in running them. Usually Brent Sass, but Sass isn't running the Iditarod this year because he has some concerns about his dogs, and we're all in support of dropping out to take care of your dogs, because quite honestly, if you aren't doing this for the dogs, you should get your ass off the trail. I have very strong opinions about people who are running it for the adventure and not so much for the dogs. Anyway, so Vernon, he has completed the Norwegian race several times, I think, and he's been living in Alaska more or less for a while. He's actually got, I think, one of Nicolas Petit's dogs on his team. I know that Petit said that he had loaned not whole teams, but a couple of dogs to some other French mushers. So I know at least one of his dogs is on Nicolas Vernier's team. Anyway, noise in the background, and my dogs, they're not sled dogs, but they're having a good time and maybe going to tear some shit up. Anyway, it's looking pretty good. The people you would expect to be in the lead are pretty much in the lead. We're going to see most of the most of the mushers, when they come in and are interviewed, are reporting good trail, good dogs, and they seem to be most of the ones you would expect to be in contention for the lead when we get 700 miles in are pleased with how their dogs are going, and they are sticking to the schedule they had set out. The one exception might be Martin Boozer, who had previously declared his 24-hour somewhere. He often does that, takes his 24-hour real early in the race, but then he pulled up and headed out much sooner than expected. So we're not sure if he was... A lot of them keep their strategies to themselves, so who knows what's going on there. Most of the dog teams in the lead still have full teams. The top 10 teams on the trail, or at least the lead 10 right now, all have 16 dogs, with the exceptions of Your Olsum, who's down to 14, and I think who else? Somebody else is down. They've got 15, and I forgot who. It might be Martin. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll get back to you on that maybe. Anyways, teams are running. Dogs seem happy. Mushers seem happy. I'll probably check in again this evening or this afternoon to let you know how things are shaking out. Have a good day.